Hello and welcome to Animal Watch, and today we're meeting a dog with a reputation. Meet the Chow Chow.
29 chows in one house. Yes, you heard right. 29 fluffy tails, 29 wet noses, 29 coats to brush, and 29 little tummies to tickle. From the largest right down to the tiniest. We meet a cute lion dog with a fearsome reputation. These working dogs have a set of teeth hiding inside all that fur, and they're not afraid to use them. If you forget to socialise and train them, that is. So today we ask the question, what should you do in order to make sure these feisty fluffers learn not to use their teeth and carry on acting all cute and fluffysome? We also show you how to groom them and go through all the different standard and non-standard colours out there. Don't go away. Rhiannon of Tomaradi Chows lives in a piece of heaven. Up in the Welsh mountains with all her dogs, her family moved out here to have a dreamy rural life and to have as many dogs as they fancied. And not just a few, I'm talking 29 fluffy chows. This number sometimes exceeds this amount when puppies arrive, and when you match those cute faces with that dreamy scenery, you'd have thought you'd fallen into a fairy tale. But chows have a fearsome reputation, and many online videos show us why they are not a dog to be considered too much of a plushy toy, as they have a tough history and were designed in Asia as independent guardian dogs. But their fluff has often drawn people into misjudging them, thinking they're easy to handle lap dogs, without first learning a few character traits.
They don't like being surprised.
No, they don't like being grabbed by the back of the neck. So if you think of a dog, probably more like your Huskies or a Labrador, they've got a lot more neck and they can turn around. The Chow finds that quite difficult. On top of that, they've got an awful lot of fluff and fur there. So when you grab them by the back of the neck or you approach a dog from the back of the neck, it's Achilles' heel, it's its weakness, and it finds it very threatening. With a Chow, it's always best to approach them front on, let them know you're coming, and then you can put your hand in front and then to the side.
These dogs were created as guardians to temples, a job they took very seriously. And Rhiannon's crew lie all over her driveway like lions outside a temple, protecting her farmhouse from unwelcome visitors. But to friends and family, they are a different breed. Her websites are full of adorable reels of her dogs and her beautiful children, all genetically blessed, making their websites a joy to behold. So today I wanted a piece of their fantasy, so I packed my case and travelled all the way to the waterfall-filled Brecon Beacons in scenic Wales.
Hi and welcome back to Wales.
Look what I've got here! I've got 3 bears! My goodness me, look, 2 little cream puffs and a little black one. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun today. I just love my job. And it's sunny. Come on, let's
sunny in Wales.
Come on then, let's go
Come on in.
Meet the pups.
So now we've met the puppies, why don't we go and get the big dogs and we can introduce you to all of those
Oh,
as well.
fantastic. It's been ages since I've seen them. So
And some of them have grown a lot since you were
Have
last
they?
here.
Oh gosh, right. Well, let's put these wriggle sticks down and get the big fluffy lions in.
So when you think the line has stopped, even more appear. A never-ending line of fur, noses and pom-pom tails. Now, one thing Chows are known for is their aloofness and shyness with strangers, a trait that potential owners and handlers should understand. A few puppies did need a little convincing that I was a safe person, so it's always good to have patience and wait for them to choose to come to you first. After which, well, they were my best friend. Now, Chows have a plush long coat which can come in many different colours. Some colours have surfaced recently that are cute, but non-standard. Rhiannon was here to fill me in on the latest trends.
Standard colours are black, red, cream, blue and fawn. Blue is the natural occurring dilution of the black gene. The dogs have all got to carry dilute for you to produce the blue or the fawn.
Let's talk about non-standard, because we've started to see some popping up on the internet.
We have, yeah.
What have we got? Merles.
So Merles have popped up. We've seen some black and tans. We've seen some chocolates. And then crazy things. I've seen people advertising pink chows.
Is that natural?
No. So what they're doing is they've put the dilutes, probably the fawns. They've bred the fawn to a fawn to a fawn to a fawn. And every dilution of that coat, they're losing the pigment. So what's happening is you've got a white coat over a dog with absolutely no black pigmentation. So the pink is showing through. So they've got pink tongues,
skin?
pink noses. Yeah, and with any breed, you're going to have much higher risk of skin cancers.
Can they lose like their hearing and their sight?
Definitely sight's affected. Hearing, I'm not 100% sure on that one. So a bit like breeding the platinums and the pinks by breeding the fawn to the fawn, they've made chocolates by breeding blue to blue to blue. So what's happening is they're mutating the natural occurring colour gene and they're flipping it.
But to get colours like the Merle, have they had to breed in other types of dogs?
Yeah, Chows do not naturally have the Merle gene. So somewhere, someone's had to have crossed something in. And this is what's frightening, is that certain people are breeding for colour only. So when you're only selecting for colour, you ignore temperament, you ignore type, you ignore health.
Yeah.
So you look for breeders that are doing the right thing, health testing, who are checking the colours correctly, and not just breeding what's fashionable.
But colours aside, one thing they do share is the fact that they need a huge amount of maintenance. If you combine that with an absolute need to handle and socialise the babies, it was very important we start the day with a bath for the cutest little Chow babies I'd ever seen.
So today we're going to groom these two little puppies. They are 10-week-old Chow Chows. This little Miss Pink and little Miss Yellow here. And they're very used to a bath. We do this a lot as breeders to make sure that these puppies understand all about grooming and being handled in general. Right, so now we've got them all nice and bubbly, we now need to wash them off. So now they're all rinsed off, we need to give them a good dry and get as much of the excess water off them as we can. So the next stage is to get them nice and dry. We're going to use a stand dryer that uses warm air instead of hot air, unlike the human hair dryer. The pet ones are obviously cooler. We don't want them to overheat. So our last stage then is to give them a good brush through with a slicker brush. This just makes sure that there's no little tatty bits left. The more you can expose your puppy to the noises, the smells, the experience of a groom, the easier it's going to be for them in the long run.
After all the cuteness, we decided to sit down and talk about how to care for one correctly, and most importantly, socializing a dog that can be feisty and hard to handle as an adult, if not done so correctly from a young age. So I sat down with Rhiannon to have a chat.
All of the guarding breeds need loads of socialisation. So
Exactly.
what do you say to somebody when they come and have a puppy off you?
So one of the first things we say to our owners is as soon as they've got their puppies' second vaccinations down, that they take them out. We go and find a pub garden or a nice coffee shop and they sit down with the pup and let the world go by. The earlier puppies are exposed to that, the better. Chows are so focused on their person, so friends need to come around and meet your puppy.
What is the worst case scenario if they
You get
don't
a very,
socialise?
very timid dog. And dogs are a fight or flight animal. If you put a dog in a situation and it's in an enclosed garden and it's put into an area where it cannot do its natural instinct, which is flight, it can't run away, its only option is to fight. So you see quite often videos where, you see a man trying to catch a chow on a catch pole and he's backed it into a tiny thing. And yes, it's going at him, teeth and claw. Most breeds would put in that situation.
if they're not
but the clickbait
socialised,
likes it more on the chow. They are a very aloof breed. You've got to allow them to
socialise them,
socialise
yes.
and meet other people.
Well, how do they do with other dogs?
Ours are well socialised. The biggest issue is not how well socialised the chow is in that situation. It's quite often how other dogs perceive them. So the body language of a chow and any Asian breed can be quite intimidating to another dog.
Well, because of the tail.
Well, so yes, a pricked ear, a tail over the back, they're all signs of aggression or heightened excitement in other breeds. And owners can misinterpret that as well. The other thing is, because the chow has an enlarged soft palate, they do make a noise, like a chuffing. And again, if you don't know what that noise is, it can be misinterpreted as a growl. And you'll find that we've got some of our girls who, when they're in public, they drop their ears back. They've learnt to lower their tail.
Yeah.
They lie down on the floor.
Oh, that's good.
Because they're socialised, they pick up quite quickly that I'm misinterpreting what you're giving out. That's why socialising with other dogs is really helpful, puppy classes especially.
How do they do obedience-wise? Are they going to come back, or are they going to go, nah, I'm independent, I'm
going to be really honest, we never suggest taking them off lead in open public places. They just don't do recall. You'll call the name, they'll turn around, acknowledge you've said something, and carry on going in the opposite direction. A chow is a bit like a cat. It'll choose to do it because it's decided it wants to do it, not because you've asked it to do it. The best things are the long lines or the extendable leads.
They've got a huge coat. How often would you say somebody would be thinking about grooming and their
I would
pet?
always say it every day. With a chow, every day.
And that's just brushing?
Yeah, but it can only be 10 minutes.
And how often should you actually bath them?
Again, it depends on the dog, but probably once a month if you are keeping up that regular thing. The brushing is what actually helps get rid of the dead coat. It gets out in a dander. If that's loose, then the coat does what it's meant to and self-cares. If you're letting it mat and things, that's where the smell's coming from. So a well-aerated coat is going to feel a much fresher coat.
With the grooming, you can start that when they're really young, and that helps with touching them, socialising them.
So it's lots of cuddles, lots of kissing, making it as natural a situation for them as possible. Dogs are really social, they come in dog packs, so we're reiterating that. That's how they bond with each other, they groom each other. So we do a similar type of thing. It helps them build a relationship with us, teaching them that grooming is a fun thing and not a difficult, painful thing.
What are they like in the heat and in the summer? Do you have to make extra precautions for this breed?
Indeed, it is hot today, so they are panting more than normal. Where they're from originally, it was the Himalayas. It is colder. Summer months, we suggest in extreme weather that you clip the tummy. So when they lie down, they can cool themselves, giving them access to cold air, so maybe a floor fan, and then lots of cold water. I never recommend ice water, it can cool them down too quickly.
Too much.
Just cool water, but as much access to that as they need. And you'll find that they're not silly, they're not going to want heat exhaustion, they'll go and find a nice shady spot to put themselves in.
Exactly.
The idea of a double coat is that it does allow air through, which is again why grooming is so important, because if the undercoat felts through, it can't lift up and let that heat come out.
And if the climate's too humid, they can get hot spots, can't they? Quite easily. The hot spot is like a self-inflicted wound.
It is, yeah. Something's irritated them. It could be something warm has got through there. It could be a bug bite. They nibble and nibble and nibble until they cause this little wound. It can be the size of a 50p piece. It can be huge, and it can happen in minutes.
Yeah, something to watch for.
Something
and
to
if you're
watch
in a really
and
humid
when you're
place,
grooming every day, you
can see.
can catch one of those happening quite quickly.
let's quickly talk about fraudulent puppies online. You've got lots of people stealing your photos right now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So when you're online and you're looking for a puppy, please be incredibly vigilant. There are fraudulent people out there right now taking reputable breeders' photos like Rhiannon that are featuring her dogs and the puppies that she's bred, and they're selling them on the internet. People are putting deposits down and they are losing vast amounts of money because those dogs, either they don't exist to start with or been bred by a puppy farmer.
Exactly.
And they've used Rhiannon's photos to cover all of this up. So you have to be vigilant. Go meet the breeder, see the parents, meet the puppy, see the character.
So Anneka, I thought I'd introduce you to these two little boys who are 3 weeks old.
They are so cute. Look at them.
Fluffy potatoes.
Fluffy ones. So I've seen all different sizes, haven't I? I've seen the adults and I've seen your little puppies that are about, what, 8 weeks?
There's 10 weeks. Two little creams are 8 weeks, and then there's a little black boy
And the
knocking
black
about
one
who's 14
and
weeks.
these ones are 3 weeks old.
3
So this is what they look like at this age.
Yeah.
So what do you do at this age to sort of get them used to people?
Lots of cuddles like we're doing now. It's introducing them to the TV in the background, hoovering near them, so that noises that would be everyday household noises, they're kind of exposed to before it's fully developed hearing and things. So they get used to that kind of noise and the vibrations.
In conclusion, the Chow Chow is a very tempting dog to own, as he's beautiful. But he's not an easy pushover, like a lot of fluffy lap dogs. Dogs from Asia are serious business. All the dogs from the Far East were once extremely independent ratters, hunters, and guardians. Their role was not to sit on human laps and entertain us, like the Victorians designed dogs to be. Their fluffiness was purposeful in achieving a look of a lion, to mirror the temple statues, so they would look at home guarding these precious places of worship. So if you're seriously considering a chow, you need to learn their quirks and why handling, grooming and socialization is so important from a young age. They're not great off leash on walks, as they can be independent and disapproving of boisterous dogs. You are getting a real self-charactered dog who can behave a little like a cat. So I would advise to do a ton of research before investing in one, as these guys should not be given up on and surrendered just because they're not as easygoing as you expected them to be. However, if you learn everything just like Rhiannon advises and watch all our back episodes on this breed and think you are made for a chow, then good luck. You've made the lucky few who get to enjoy such a fascinating breed. Oh, and remember, don't look for a dog through the free online ad sections, as you may be buying from a puppy farmer. And puppy farmers breed dogs with poor health and often bad characters, as they don't care about health and character testing. Go to a proper breeder with a great reputation, like Rhiannon from Tomaradi Chows.
If people want to find out more about your dogs, what is your social media sites that they come to?
So we're Tomaradi Chow Chows. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Lots of little viral videos, so you can watch all these fantastic little
and
videos.
Mum as well, who's my business partner. She's Mikimoto Chow Chows, so she's there too, and we're all together.
Yeah, so hence why you've got so many chows, because they're sort of shared, aren't they, between you and your mum?
Yeah, we share the same premises, we share our same expertise. Mum's really good at rearing puppies, that's her speciality. I seem to take on more of the grooming and the male handling and things.
Oh, right.
So just plays to our strengths, and then everybody kind of gets to benefit from everybody else's expertise.
Yeah, well, fantastic. And if you enjoyed this episode, then be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, where we'll be bringing you more cute videos. I mean, couldn't be cuter than this. A little bear with a black tongue. And tune in every week and we'll be bringing you more episodes on dogs, wolves, animal rescue and conservation, as well as teddy bears and Ewoks and fluffy things and toe beans. Bye-bye.